Good morning, it's Loren Lockman from the Tanglewood Wellness Center in Costa Rica. I've been asked this morning to talk a little about how do we take care of the body, our personal care, without making ourselves more toxic. And it's an excellent question. It's one of those things that some people don't think so much about. I've had people who are intelligent and otherwise very conscious continuing to use things like conventional toothpastes. It's a good place to start because it's almost absurd. It's so silly. In the United States, conventional toothpaste manufacturers like Crest and Colgate must print on the box, "Do not swallow." It has to say those 3 words on the box of toothpaste. Now, why would you guess this is the case? Because these are toxic products, okay? So why would you put a toxic product in your mouth, which is designed to begin absorbing and taking this into your bloodstream? This makes no sense whatsoever, okay? There are non-toxic brands available. Now, by the way, if you want to understand a little bit about how government and industry works together, when you buy a box of toothpaste, okay, what do you do when you get home and use the toothpaste? What do you do with the box? You throw it away. As soon as you get home, you throw the box away and you put the toothpaste in your medicine cabinet or in your sink, wherever you brush your teeth. Okay? The law requires that it says "do not swallow" on the box. It does not require it to say "do not swallow" on the tube. Why not? Because the manufacturers know that while a lot of people stand there while they're brushing their teeth and read the toothpaste tube, nobody looks at the box. They've already thrown it away. So the message is missed by the vast majority of consumers, and this is not by accident. Okay? It's been planned this way. This is government collusion. The government's agreed to allow them to print this only where it's not likely to be seen and to not have to print it where many people would actually see it, which is on the tube itself. So toothpaste is a good example. Many personal care products are toxic to our bodies. They contain all kinds of toxic ingredients. Antiperspirants, I don't know if they still do. They used to contain aluminum, most of them. Anyone know if this is still true? I'm not sure about this, but aluminum is very toxic to the body. You do not want to be taking aluminum into your bloodstream. This is why people used to cook with aluminum pans. You never want to do that. You wind up with aluminum in your food if you're cooking food. You never want to do this. Don't want to drink out of aluminum cups or use aluminum pitchers. Aluminum is not something your food or water should be coming into contact with. It's a very toxic metal. We don't want to take this into our body. And yet, that's what these products contain. And so you put them on, and they're going right into your bloodstream. It has been postulated that perhaps one of the reasons that so many women develop breast cancer is because of the products they're using, partially. It may also be because their brassieres pinch off blood and lymph flow. So the toxins wind up pooling in this area of the body. They can't be eliminated, okay, because people are wearing tight garments around their body. And the fact is, we should never be wearing clothing that's so tight. It could do that, but many people do. Okay? So almost all personal care products can be toxic, and most of them are. The environmentalworkinggroup.org has on their website has a list of all personal care products. Okay? And what's interesting is you can look for organic products, organic shampoos and soaps and shave creams and lotions and toothpaste, etc., and they'll tell you how toxic those products are to you. Now, unfortunately, what I found is that most of what's posted there is significantly deficient in information. They just don't have that much information because it's hard to get this information from the companies. In fact, again, in the United States, companies are not required to put all the ingredients on the label if they make up less than 1% of the product. I believe it's 1%. So there may be many toxic ingredients that aren't even listed because there's only a little bit of them. I don't know about you, I don't want any toxic ingredients on my skin or in my mouth or on my head. Okay? So the fact that there might only be a little, that's not okay with me. Okay? But by law, they're not required to list them at all. But it's very interesting, even the organic products, they're rated for how likely they are to cause cancer, the organic products, how likely they are to cause cancer, how toxic they are. These products are still not optimal. So what do? Well, first of all, those of you who are now fasting or have already fasted, the optimal thing to do is to not make your body toxic again. You've already cleaned out the majority of the toxins. And what happens in a body that is clean? It stops smelling bad. Okay? It stops being imbalanced. So your hair doesn't get oily. Your underarms don't stink the way some people's do. Your breath isn't bad. Because when those things are true, you don't need those products anymore. All right? So this is probably could be filed under more than you needed to know about me, but I don't use soap or shampoo or deodorant or toothpaste or any personal care products whatsoever, with the exception of an organic shave cream, which according to the Environmental Working Group is still has a X percent, 30% chance of causing cancer, whatever it is, because it's all I can find here. There's only one brand available in most of the stores in this area, so that's what I use. I'm sure there are probably ways I could make my own, and that might be the best you can do, would be to find something. I've never tried shaving with a ripe avocado, but maybe that would work. Personally, I'd rather eat the avocado, but you might find something natural, like from food, that you could use for these purposes. When I was transitioning myself, I experimented with taking lemon juice and diluting it with water and using that with my hair. I think you have to be very careful because lemon juice is very acidic, pH 2, 100,000 times more acidic than water. Okay, so you will dramatically impact the pH of the water with just a little bit of lemon juice. You want to be very, very careful that it's not too acidic. Other people use vinegar and tell me that their hair doesn't smell like vinegar. In fact, I've experienced having someone who used vinegar and being surprised that their hair didn't smell like vinegar. It washes out, does not leave an odor, and seems to be okay. It's not too harsh, doesn't seem to imbalance the scalp too much. The best you can do is to get the body clean and not need these products at all. So, again, that's what I do. That's what I recommend doing. There's no need for these products once the body's clean. Toothpaste, I think most people can probably dispense with right now. Get a soft, wet toothbrush, get it wet, and gently brush your teeth before you eat, never after. Before you eat, not after. Okay? Avoid those things that are likely to stick to your teeth, so that they're going to cause problems after eating. You shouldn't be eating dried fruit. You don't want to eat a lot of nuts and seeds. These are the kinds of things that tend to cause problems for us. Fresh fruit and soft, tender leaves don't create problems for the body in terms of plaque and cavities. And brushing after you eat actually wears away your enamel much faster because the acid in these foods softens the enamel. So you're better off not brushing for at least a couple hours after eating. Okay? All right, so any questions about anything we've talked about here? Flossing. Personally, I'm lazy and don't floss. I don't know that flossing is really necessary. I've done really well without flossing. Again, my guess is that if we're eating properly, it's much less of an issue. But I don't know if there's any real harm to flossing either, if you do it properly. So if you feel better flossing or seem to benefit from flossing, go ahead and do it. You want to be very careful with flossing and with brushing too hard so that you don't create separation, your gums, gum disease, where your gums separate from your teeth. Yeah?
Mouthwash. Can you talk about it?
Well, mouthwash, some mouthwash, the plural of that, these products may indeed be killing bacteria that create germs, that create bad odors. But remember, the bacteria aren't the problem. So what you really want to do is create a condition where these bacteria simply don't find a home in your mouth. Okay? You guys, if you've seen one of my couple of videos on dental issues, I talked about going to the dentist after more than 10 years of seeing one, and him being shocked at how clean my mouth was. And he said, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I brush once, maybe twice a day. That's it. At the most, that's all I do, period. I haven't been to a dentist in years, don't floss, etc." And he said, "Let me show you the bacteria in your mouth." And he took a little swab and put it on a slide, and he said, "Normally the slide would be covered with bacteria. There's one up there. There's one over there. There's one down there. I've never seen a mouth this clean before." Okay? Get your body clean, and you won't be providing a hospitable environment for these so-called bad bacteria, and you won't have bad breath. Now, avoid eating onions and garlic, things like that make your breath smell bad. Avoid that, but most of the time, that's not where bad breath is coming from. You can tell onion breath from just a constant bad breath, which is happening from a toxic system. Get your body clean. You don't need mouthwash. I personally would never use it. Any other questions? No? Well, I hope that's been helpful to you. I'll see you next time.